think I got a tummy ache.
From what?
The free throws. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with no energy at all,
It's time
to meet us on nil because the Arizona State Sun Devils, they did it. They got the win. They beat Cal Poly 93-89. Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Yeah,
I'm pulling the hoodie down because y'all are gonna see Nigel today.
Nigel the neck vein.
Nigel's been resting, but now he's back.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Guys, I'm Anthony Totri. This guy right here, the ghost next to me, that is Erik Ruby. We have
I do look very white
Captain
today.
Redbeard behind the Mac, steering the ship, just barely avoiding wreckage tonight. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. We got a full post-game show for everybody. Grab a snack, grab a drink, because my goodness, I know you need one. And we're going to talk some ASU hoops, what we watched tonight, what we witnessed. Offensively, not bad. Defensively, from the charity stripe, also not great. Alexander doing it for me. It's time. I just don't have the energy after watching this game, to be honest with you. The rickety bridge, does this deserve win music? Erik, it doesn't feel like it deserves win music.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But a win is a win.
A win is
As
win.
the thumbnail states, a win is a win. And the good news is that your Arizona State Sun Devils are 5-1 on this men's basketball season.
They are.
The bad news is how they got there.
For this one.
It is another classic example of the Arizona State Sun Devils playing down to their competition. And Gonzaga was a classic example of the Arizona State Sun Devils playing up to their competition. Uppies. This is frustrating because this is the team whose talent baseline and talent level should avoid playing like this. And Rickety Bridge says, freshmen be freshmen, though. We can grow from this. I don't think it wasn't just the freshmen.
No, it's everybody.
It wasn't just like, oh, man, the freshman had a bad game. I mean, let's just get into the biggest thing about this game. Point blank period. It was not three-point shooting. It was not the freshmen. It was not any of that. No. It was the dang free throws.
Which 8 of the missed 14 were by freshmen.
True. 27 of 41 from the line. 65.9%. They missed 9 free throws alone in the second half.
They shot 30 free throws.
That is
in the second half.
That is indefensible. There are 0 reasons why you should shoot that poorly from the line with that many attempts against this team. You should not have been shook at the free throw line. There was not even that big of a crowd in there. There was not a lot of pressure on it. You should have just walked in and you should have just hit your free throws. I'm not saying you got to hit 100%. I'm not saying go 41 of 41. I'm talking like 35 of 41. You hit 35 of 41 free throws, this game is never in doubt. In fact, it's probably even a bigger blowout because you're playing with actual confidence.
Yeah.
Right? And when you're playing a team like Cal Poly, and for somehow, some way, they are staying in it despite being one of the worst teams in Division I basketball right now. They're not shooting great from 3. They're not like, they scored 89 points, but it's not like they're getting to the line a lot. They only shot 15 free throws. They hit 10 of them. They shot 66% from the line, 35% from field, but they thought they shot 51.6% overall from the field and dominated in the paint. You need to hit the easy ones. It's not hard-hitting basketball analysis, but it's the dang truth.
No, you did the hard part, and the hard part was getting to the line, right?
Yeah.
You took 41 free throws tonight, and like you said, you missed 14 of them. This is the team in Arizona State that you look at the numbers shooting from the floor tonight. They shot well offensively. That wasn't the issue. Everybody that started this game finished in double figures. Again, Arizona State scoring 93 points. Overall, this was a really solid offensive game. So yes, they could pull away in this game in terms of being able to take care of business at the charity stripe. But for me, Erik, defensively, there was a lot of lapses in this game. I mean, Jared Hyder for Cal Poly finished with 27 points tonight, the leading scorer for either team. That's just, you can't let that happen.
No.
Right? This guy, again, say what you want. It's Division I basketball. This guy goes to Cal Poly. He scored 27 points on your head, shot 50% from three, 50% from the field. And you want to talk about this kid doing it. He only shot 3 free throws tonight. He cooked Arizona State's defense, which is a little scary. We haven't seen Arizona State defensively have lapses like this in a couple seasons because, in reality, that's what they've been able to hang their hat on, has been their defense when their offense doesn't show up. Seems like we've kind of flipped that script, at least for tonight's game. It was Arizona State offensively that was humming. It was in a rhythm. They could get just about anything they wanted. We'll talk about the numbers a little bit later on. But tonight, defensively, they didn't have an answer for Hyder. And it's just unexcusable, especially when you out-rebound a team 31-21. You had 10 more boards in them. Overall, like, the assist numbers were pretty similar. Like, they just played better one-on-one basketball than I think Arizona State could defend tonight.
They are allowing 76.8 points per game this season. Now, that is drastically helped by game number 1, where they allowed 48 points to Idaho State. But following that, they allowed 74 to Santa Clara, 88 to Gonzaga, 76 to Grand Canyon, 66 to St. Thomas, and now 89 to Cal Poly. There are not a lot of great teams in there besides Gonzaga. Grand Canyon lost today.
Hey, they did.
Santa
UC
Clara,
Davis.
Santa Clara is fine. They're good. They're not great. St. Thomas is not good. That game was much closer than it should have been until the very end. And Cal Poly's not a good team. You allowed your most points this season, and you've played the number 6 team in the country on the road, and you allowed your most points this season to Cal Poly. That is the perfect example of playing up and down to your competition. There should not be a universe where Cal Poly scores more in Tempe than Gonzaga does on you at Gonzaga. Yeah. That is an effort thing. That is a defensive identity thing. That is something where if you look at the players on the court, like, sure, there are good basketball players. They're all better than me. Fine. But just looking alone at this Arizona State team, they towered over them. They clearly had the talent advantage. They had the shooting advantage. They had everything. Yeah. Except the game plan and except that defensive identity. And maybe the points in the paint being so in favor of Cal Poly was because ASU was getting to the free throw line and ASU still did have an interior presence. But to me, it's still inexcusable to be sitting here talking about a 4-point win. Shane in the chat says, was trying to figure out how this game was so close, even while watching the whole game. Looking at the stats just made me more confused.
Yeah, I mean, points in the paint, 38 points in the paint tonight for Cal Poly. And someone had brought it up a little bit earlier in the chat, but you miss Sean Phillips in a game like this, right? Another interior defensive presence for Arizona State that wasn't out there. Obviously not necessarily an interior defensive guy by any means, but you also didn't have Austin Nunez out there in terms of just another defensive body to throw out there, give some, minutes to the bench for Alston Mason, for BJ Freeman, some of these guys that started tonight's game. But you did miss Sean Phillips tonight. And I know there are a lot of people that heckle him for the way he plays offense, but Sean Phillips defensively, and we've seen that already at times this season, especially when he's on the floor with Jayden Quaintance, it makes life a lot more difficult for these teams to truly try and surgically get through this Arizona State defense. You have to really, really pick your shots and pick your moments. Tonight, when Quaintance wasn't on the floor, that was their time. That was their opportunity to cut in. And as much as you'd love to see Jayden Quaintance play the entire game, and I mean, he gave it his all. He played 34 minutes tonight.
It's a long time.
You just can't. You can't throw your freshman out there for that long. and expect to get quality minutes. That's why all of these freshmen over the last couple of games outside of Quaintance have come off the bench, right? Joson Sanon, people were tweeting at me, why is he scoring 22 points and he's coming off the bench? Well, Joson Sanon provides that scoring to the second unit that
you would say that's an important role for somebody to fill.
Yeah, for Joson Sanon
I'm still
for
salty.
Joson Sanon specifically.
Still salty.
But you needed Sean Phillips tonight, and that showed drastically.
Yeah, I have been one of the people more critical about Sean Phillips, and I'm a little torn about that. I absolutely think that you could have used him. Does he make the biggest difference in the world tonight? I think it depends on what Sean Phillips shows up, because Sean Phillips is one of those players. I don't want to get too far into it, but he has a hard time establishing his dominance as far as size discrepancy goes against smaller defenders, and that's all he would have seen today. So in a vacuum, yes, somebody that big, that tall, that athletic, that would be an important interior presence to have. But I just don't know if I can count on that extremely consistently from him. But it would have been nice just to have him throw out there and maybe give Quaintance a little bit more of a breather, give him a little bit more time to collect himself, and maybe that translates to better shooting at the free throw line as well, and maybe having an Alston Nunez just to throw out there for minutes. I mean, I know that on the stat sheet he's not doing a lot, but coming into tonight he was averaging 11 minutes per game. That's a decent chunk of minutes that if you could throw in there, your guards are a little bit more well rested.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could have used those two, but you certainly should not be looking at this game and saying, "Wow, we only won by 4 points," and that's because we missed two players who combined average 5.6 points per game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not even the points, and like we saw tonight, right? The points wasn't the issue. You scored 93 of them tonight. It was you were gassed that you only went 7 deep tonight. Mm-hmm. You didn't have that extra guard in Alston Nunez coming off the bench. You didn't have the extra big. And when Bashir fouled out, right, it makes life a little bit more difficult. Now, granted, he fouled out in the last minute of the game.
Right.
But still, these are things little things that defensively you don't necessarily think about because they don't show up on the stat sheet, right? Mm-hmm. But Arizona State only going 7 deep tonight. Alston Mason played 36 minutes. Bashir played 24 minutes before fouling out. BJ played 27. Quaintance played 34. Adam Miller played 33. Sanon played 28. And Amir Ali played 18.
It's a lot of minutes.
It is for all of these guys, and 3 of those 7 are freshmen.
Do you think they should have dusted somebody off the bench?
I think so.
Just for some minutes?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess this is the team to do it against.
You got a Brandon Gardner who is a USC transfer.
UFC fighter?
Yeah, UFC fighter. USC transfer. Hasn't seen the floor much, if at all, this season. He's just another body you could throw out there. Again, Bobby knows his team. He knows how to coach way better than I do by any means. This is just, again, it's just something that I think when you clearly defensively weren't all there tonight, maybe you give it a shot, right? You can get at least some defensive minutes. You're scoring at will. Anybody on the offense for the Sun Devils is finding a way to put the ball in the hoop tonight.
Well, that's the thing is if you look at anybody who's gotten minutes so far this season, there's only one player who was active for ASU tonight that didn't play that has gotten minutes before the season, and that is Brandon Gardner, who's played 1 game in 3 minutes, right? Your other 2 guys that are playing your 2 lowest minutes per game are Sean Phillips and Alston Nunez, and of course, we already mentioned that they're not playing. So you are put in a pretty tough position, and I think it's tough, and maybe that makes this game closer than it should have been, right? But it should never have been coming down to where it came down to. I don't care how many minutes your starters have to play. I don't care what kind of situation you're in there. This is Cal Poly is almost the 300th worst team as far as Ken Pom goes in college basketball. This is not you play your starters for a long time. Sure, you should look gassed. Maybe the missed free throws are there, but it still should not be this close.
No, it shouldn't be. And this is concerning for one reason and one reason only is because it only gets tougher, right? This is Cal Poly scoring 38 points in the paint, 7 more than Arizona State did tonight. And the competition only gets harder when you get to conference play. Hunter Dickinson, some of these other bigs in this conference are seeing the 38 points in the paint. Mm-hmm. They're seeing Cal Poly put up 89. And they are chomping at the bit to get Arizona State on their court.
I mean, New Mexico is 3-1. They're favored to beat ASU on Thanksgiving night on a 9:30 tip-off on True TV. Has there ever been a more disgusting sentence?
We're not doing a post-game show for that.
We will not be doing a post-game show for the 9:30 p.m. tip-off ASU
Just want to throw that out there on Thanksgiving.
On True TV. We will be doing a show the day after
to
talk about it. But San Diego, not a great team. But then you're playing a ranked team in Florida. Then you go play UMass, and then boom, you're already in Big 12 play. BYU, Colorado, and then the number 1 team in the country. 3 games in, followed by the 13th ranked team in the country. 2 games later, the 18th ranked team in the country. 2 games after that, the 5th ranked team. 2 games after that, the 17th ranked team. And who knows who else is going to be ranked, because you're also going to hit Houston, and then who's 7, and then Arizona, who's 17.
Yeah, you'll get down the stretch.
You are, but also, the problem with being a team that plays to their competition is when you play the bad teams. The good part about being a team that plays to their competition's level is that when you play a good team, you lock the hell in.
That's fair. And we saw them do it against Gonzaga.
Maybe there's an argument by the time they get into Big 12 play, they have that switch that they can flip, and they know that they can't take a game like this against Cal Poly and play 7 players.
Bobby knows this. Bobby, I guarantee you in that post-game presser was not happy. He didn't look happy on the court with the way that these guys played tonight. But I do want to get to By the Numbers, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's number 1 credit union, named by Forbes. Of course, the only number that matters is that final score. Arizona State coming out on top over Cal Poly, 93-89, the leading score for both these squads. Yeah, Jared Hyder for Cal Poly, 27 points. Joson Sanon, 22. The way they shot from the floor tonight, that is the teams, 48% for the Devils, 52% for Cal Poly. From the three-point line, 42% for Arizona State, 35% for Cal Poly. In terms of free throws, Erik, 66% for ASU, 67% for Cal Poly. Is there a number that sticks out specifically to you?
The eyes eventually go to the free throws. Yeah. However, they missed 30 field goals. They missed 30 field goals, and they took 41 free throws tonight. That is a lot of shots.
That's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of shots.
I mean, Cal Poly took 64 shots.
I know.
I didn't realize they shot 51% from the floor.
Yeah, and they got offensive rebounds. They
played hard tonight. Cal Poly, tip your cap.
I mean, the Tommies did the same thing. The Tommies played tough, but the Tommies stayed in it by shooting a ton of threes. I don't know if I feel better or worse about the fact that it's been in multiple different ways that these bad teams have been in games with ASU.
But you win,
like,
so
Idaho
it doesn't
State,
matter.
It matters.
Does it?
When you're trying to be a good team, it matters. Like, when you're trying to be, if you're trying to be a quote contender in the Big 12, beating up on the small teams absolutely matters. Absolutely matters.
A win's a win.
Yeah, I agree. It's better than a loss, but like, you lose to Idaho State and it's just the ugliest game.
They didn't lose to Idaho State.
Sorry, you beat Idaho State. It's just the ugliest game of all time. Felt like a loss.
Uglier than this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was 48 to 55.
55 to 40.
That was a gross game.
That's a football score.
What kind of football you watching? No defenses?
Texas Tech, Cincinnati. Then you play a St. Thomas team that just goes lights out from 3. That's how they stay in it. And then you play this Cal Poly team, and the reason they're in it is because you can't hit a dang free throw, and they're dominating in the paint. I can't tell if it's better or worse to lose in those different ways, because it's like, is it better to not have a clear pattern, or is it better to have a clear pattern so that you can address it?
I don't have a good answer for you, to be honest with you.
Well, that sucks, dude.
I mean, look.
Then let's just end the dang podcast.
I think for me, I would rather there not be a pattern. I'd rather it be more so like, okay, maybe this thing you need to fix, or this thing you need to fix every single game, and you need to tighten up, right? Because if it's not a pattern, then it's something that you haven't necessarily done, or it's something that you can fix. If it's a pattern, then you're just going through practice every single week, losing in the same ways or winning in the same ways, and getting beat, right? And this team is 5-1 as it stands right now. Yes, it wasn't pretty. Yes, there are ways for this team to improve, but they were shorthanded tonight, like JJB said. And this is a team that you got to think will figure it out. That's part of the reason why they scheduled this non-con. And again, Cal Poly wasn't the team that they scheduled on this non-conference schedule that's like has the Sun Devils shaking in their boots. But I think this is I'm not going to say mid-season because you're nowhere near there, but this is an early season get-right game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, we know what we need to do for the next one. And the next one, like you said, is a big one on Thanksgiving Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna say Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving evening.
It's basically Black Friday.
And you're gonna have to find a way to get it done.
You're just looking for that one we completely dominated inferior competition.
But Arizona State never really does that.
Then that's the problem. This team's supposed to be different. That's the problem. And I'm going to rant even more about that. But first, I'm going to take a quick break.
Guys, look, I'm going to be honest. Both of us are wearing hats right now, but I'm going to be completely real. Mine's not very comfortable, to be honest with you. It's because it's not a branded Bills hat.
I pick my hats sometimes because I like to like really color coordinate. I'm wearing these green shorts and I do regret it.
Yeah, no, this one just isn't right for me, to be completely honest with you. And that's why I've got a ton of branded Bills hats at home that I need to start wearing on these post-game shows because they're comfortable.
This might be the first post-game show I haven't worn a Brandon Bills hat in months.
They're comfortable, and one thing that like we don't tell you enough about is like they stay cool. Like the Brandon Bills hats
so
that I
nice.
have, the texture of it, like it stays cool on your head.
You ever worked out in them?
I've never actually worked out.
Dude, they're actually really nice to work out in.
Well, I'll have to give it a shot, guys. Feel free to browse their website and just check out all of the amazing things that Branded Bills has. Elevate your brand with Branded Bills, the perfect headwear and apparel. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. Head to brandedbills.com and use code PHNX for 20% off your first order.
This team needed a little bit more drive tonight. They need to put a little bit more gas in their tank. And of course, this is a Circle K transition because we love our friends over at Circle K because they make it so easy for you, not just because they have so many different locations, not just because they have the best selection of snacks. I was munching on some dark chocolate covered almonds from Circle K last night. But the best part about all of it is that they do it in a way that helps you save money. And man, do we all know that we need to be saving as much money as possible out here, and that's why they have the Inner Circle. If you have not joined the Inner Circle yet, you can do that for free by downloading the Circle K app, and you can save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. After that, 3 cents off per gallon every day, and eventually gets bumped up to 5 cents off per gallon. Join the Inner Circle for free. Download the Circle K app today. Some terms and conditions do apply and at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details.
Short post in the chat, there's always a Cal Poly team in the tournament that just goes crazy. And to be honest, previous teams would have lost that game. Do you agree? Do you think previous Arizona State teams lose that game?
I mean, maybe. I think maybe some. Definitely not a blanket no, but this feels like just the classic, and this is what I was going to rant about. This just feels like the absolute classic game from an ASU team over the last however many years where you go into it saying, I mean, ASU was given a 97% chance to win this game.
They were up 23-10.
ESPN's matchup predictor is not always correct, but
it's very rarely correct.
When something is that just demonstrative, 97-3%, there's reasonings behind it. And this was just another one of those classic games where for some reason, and even Shane mentioned it in the chat, there's not like a lot of things you could point to. It's like, man, that's very clear as to why Cal Poly was in this game. Besides the missed free throws, where ASU plays with their food, they just don't dominate it. They don't play good enough to actually take them down early, and it ends up sweating it out at the end, and they pull away based off of sheer talent alone. And that's awesome if you want to just count wins against bad teams. I'm not in the business of doing that in the Big 12. What I am in the business of doing in the Big 12 is dominating the bad teams so that when you play the good teams, you have all the confidence in the world, because all you're going to do is be playing good teams in the Big 12. And if you bring this mentality in every night that you can just coast to a win off of just your talent alone, guess what? When the other talent gets jumped up, we've seen it fail in the Pac-12. It's sure as heck gonna fail in the Big 12 too, if they do not change that mindset. And it's just, the short bus says, right, but Princeton and who's the one Bagley missed on? We always lose one. I get it, I do, but that's not the standard that I'm trying to hold this team to right now. I'm trying to hold this team to a different standard in a different conference with a different roster. That's what I'm doing.
I hear you. But we've seen this team, and we saw them do it in a loss, play up to their competition against Gonzaga. Do you feel like this team as a whole, okay, throw away what you saw tonight. Yes, the performance was what it was. Moving on to the next game. Do you think that Arizona State hoops is more like what we saw against Gonzaga, or more like what we saw tonight against Cal Poly?
I think the reality is that overall they're somewhere in between. That's the problem is they don't have that clear identity. You can't just clearly put them in either category because I don't think they're as bad as a 4-point win against Cal Poly, but I don't know if they're as good as playing the number 6 team in the country on the road that well that early in the season. I think they can hit the heights and they can hit the lows, and that always evens out to the middle. And the middle will not get it done in the Big 12. Because you can have this all play up to No, here's the thing. You can have this all play up to my competition mentality, and win some big games. But what it felt like over the last couple of years was these big games came few and far in between, right? It was a couple games of Pac-12 swill, big game, It's every other dang game in the Big 12 that you are playing a good team. You can't just waltz in and say, we'll play up to our competition we want and we'll play down when we want to. I know they're not saying that, but it's a pattern. And it's been a pattern with all of these teams over the last decade. What you have to do is know that every single night you're bringing the same energy. You're bringing the same, persistence as far as dominating the paint, the attention to detail, as far as hitting your free throws. You need to bring that with the talent, or you will end up as one of the worst teams in the Big 12. And with all the talent on this team, what cannot happen is this team being one of the worst teams in the Big 12. You need to compete. No, you can come back. You can come back. That was seriously ending. Yeah, you can come back.
I want you to talk to Bobby. I want you to talk to...
No, here's the thing.
Go ahead. Talk to Bobby.
The Rickety Bridge in the chat says your teams are rarely consistent, right? And that's what's speaking right now. What's speaking right now is a scorned ASU fan who has seen this story before and wants change, wants something different. And you might tell me, Erik, you won the game. You're 5-1. Guess what?
5-1.
Guess what? Guess what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Would you have been satisfied with the ASU football season if they were 3-0 in non-con play and then they went on to the Big 12 and they lost a bunch of games?
That's literally how it went. They were 3-0 and then lost their first conference game.
Okay, but they didn't lose it. Shut up. You're off screen for a reason. You chose to go over there.
I did.
Stay on that side, Totri. Stay on that side. I am choosing to hold this team to a different standard than where they've been held before. And showing the same patterns as you've shown before, will not get up, it's okay, at least we won. No, I want this to be a team to be reckoned with in the Big 12. I want this team to be ranked. I want this team to go into March and feel like you might have a shot to actually advance a couple rounds and maybe be that chaotic team that makes a deeper run than everybody expected. I love the collection of talent on this team. I feel like it's one of the best that Bobby's had, especially in young talent. But you cannot continue to show the same patterns in different rosters year over year. Something has to change, and it can. Very well, this team can do that. And maybe they just need a little bit of time to get it together. Maybe they just need to sit through this non-con schedule, get their chemistry together, play well, and then by the times they're playing the teams that are in the low points of the Big 12 Conference, they're playing that way. Entirely possible. Entirely possible. But here's the thing. I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And I need to see it. And I haven't seen it. We got people saying Totri used to do these solo. Listen, y'all probably don't know this. I hosted a solo radio show. Like we should just, instead of doing shows together, we should just do segments alternating.
I don't want to ever be by myself talking about Arizona State basketball. I did this last season and I felt like I was I needed to be
not in La La Land.
I needed to be in an asylum. After I want to see that movie. I saw a TikTok.
You still haven't seen it?
I still haven't seen it. No. If Ryan Gosling's in that movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it now.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's her name?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Emma Stone.
Big Suns fan.
Yeah, huge Suns fan. Mm-hmm. Went to the church
party?
that I went to.
Really?
When she was younger, and her grandparents still attend. So
you shoot your shot with Emma Stone?
No.
Why not?
She's like double my age. Or she was at the time.
Okay, man.
Anyway, Tony thinks I'm high. I'm not high.
No, that would have made it easier to stomach.
I would not have talked like that if I was.
That's fair. No, good job, man.
Thank you.
You killed that. Right.
I mean, we got some more.
You had a lot to get off your chest.
I did, and we have some more stuff to get into, but I feel like it would only be fair to give everybody just a small little break from the basketball talk, and we'll be back right after this.
Tonight was the floor.
Yep.
Tonight,
well, I mean, I hope so.
Wasn't a good floor. It was a bad floor. It was hard. It was creaky. It was cracked. It definitely was not Empire Today. Guys, with Empire Today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product, the right flooring for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a price match guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, you're going to have some copycats out there, but Empire Today can't be beat when it comes to quality, service, and speed. So they're not going to promise you the lowest prices, because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in theirs. Guys, Empire Today keeps shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. Their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use that promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/PHNX for details.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love basketball. I love watching basketball, and I feel blessed I get to talk about basketball. But that game, there was a lot of parts of it that weren't fun. And I feel like I need to have some fun. And I feel like I need a fun detox over at Chicken and Pickle, because there is nothing better than the complex compound facility that they have out there in Glendale. And yes, sure, they have the indoor and outdoor pickleball courts. That's awesome. I play pickleball sometimes. It's fun. If you play it, you'll have fun too. If you're new, you'll have fun. But there's so much more to Chicken and Pickle than that. I want to do it justice. They have a bunch of different games: Jenga, Battleship, ping pong. They have a two-story bar.
Battleship?
Yeah, they have a two-story bar. They have a wonderful place for you to watch any sort of games. And of course, they have fantastic food. I highly recommend the chicken and waffles. Plus, we do have Cardinals tailgates that are free over at Chicken and Pickle. And you can check out all this at gophnx.com/events and chickenandpickle.com to see all the fun you can have at their Glendale location. Rickety clarifying something that I mentioned in my solo rant, says, by the way, I didn't say your team. I said young teams. Yes, young teams are inconsistent. For sure. There are some young players on this roster, and inconsistency from them has actually been fewer and farther between. This is not the youngest roster in the world. There are a lot of transfers who have played significant amounts of college basketball, and they're young together. And again, like I said, they could possibly get better, and there's still a path there.
They'll get better.
They'll get better.
They're 100% going to get better.
But it's still a reason for concern at this moment. Are you not concerned?
No.
You don't seem concerned.
I'm not that concerned. I've seen a lot worse basketball teams at Arizona
I'm not
State
disagreeing with that.
No. I think we're just on two different. We're on two different levels right now. You are, and I respect that. I respect your desire for this team to have a different standard when it comes to college basketball. But what you are asking is not what this program is going to deliver you.
I know.
But you just got to be along for the ride, man.
No.
And so far, this is a good ride. So far, this is a 5-1 ride. I'll take that ride.
Yeah.
Better than a 3-3 ride. And I'm saying again, you are right. I want you to, I want you to hear that.
Wait, one more time.
You are right.
Sorry, I missed that.
To set that standard as high as it is.
There must have been something
Last
in my
time.
ear.
You're right.
Oh.
The standard should be higher. But again, like you said, right, this is a young basketball team. And yes, there are some inconsistencies. Yes, there are maybe still some chemistry issues on the defensive end. Offensively, I think they've gotten into a rhythm. They're humming the last couple of games. It's been 80 burger, 80 burger, 80 burger, boom. They grill out a 93 tonight. It'll come, right? And the best part about having a group of young bucks mixed in with transfers is you don't know how good they can be, right? So yes, you're setting that standard high, and maybe they can get there, right? But that is something that they are going to have to figure out on their own, and this is still so early on in the season. I think to be able to just win at home in college basketball over anybody is a dub. A win's a win.
Technically.
A win is a win.
I feel like you just patted me on the head and was like, okay, calm down. That's what I feel like just happened.
No, I didn't.
Verbally.
I didn't verbally do that to you.
I feel like you verbally.
I told you were right.
Wait, what?
Bottle service tonight is going to one of those young bucks. Joson Sanon, 22 points, 7 of 13 from the floor. The young 5-star freshman continues to deliver, coming off the bench, 22 points, and pretty efficient as well, Erik.
Bucket.
He is a bucket.
He is.
Do you want to tell people what we were going through at the start of this game when he was delivering and Damon Dog was just walking around the office?
So as Sanon does, he checks into the game and he just starts on a heater. Bang, bang. And I'm like, oh, U of A fans, they didn't want him on this roster. They're like, oh, we don't need him. You can have him.
Is that what they sound like?
To me,
they sound so annoying.
And to be fair, I poked the dog. I poked the Damon dog.
You didn't just poke the dog. You slapped the dog on the cheeks.
And if y'all don't know who Damon Dog is, he's the producer for a Cardinals show. He's on a Diamondback show, and he is a big U of A fan, U of A alum. Grew up in Tucson. It means a lot to him.
Double dub.
Here's the thing: Damon's down right now for reasons I'm not quite sure about. Not sure why he wouldn't be happy as a Wildcats fan.
He needs to let it go.
Yes.
Oh, that was really bad.
Almost as bad as their season.
I'm so sorry.
But when you poke the bear, he gets just a little bit more angry.
The dog gonna bite your back.
He was like, can we calm down about this? Joson Sanon is a bucket and U of A fans should be worried about it because you guys are playing Cal Poly. Can we maybe get into Big 12 play first? I mean, that was a pretty good Damon Dog.
And in hindsight,
it's a pretty good Damon Dog.
It sounds just like him.
Just like
in hindsight, it was a 4-point win.
Agreed. And Tony says Sanon would be our 8th man. He's coming off the bench for us, dude. I think that being out on this guy when he has clearly shown that he has translatable skills on the offensive end that could go to the next level, and he's done that through 6 games of his freshman season while everybody else around him has been figuring it out. This kid is a special scoring talent.
He's a star.
You've seen multiple people mention this is the best shooter that Bobby Hurley's ever had, period.
Is that true?
Cody Justice, Trey Holder.
I'll take Sanon over Justice and Holder. Shannon Evans. I mean, the 3 guards. God, that team was fun.
That team was so much
Des
fun.
Cambridge was a bucket a couple years ago.
was a bucket. Remy was a pretty good shooter. Not a Sanon type.
No,
though.
he wasn't. He wasn't able to score at all 3. He didn't really have a mid-range.
I'll push back on that a little bit.
Really? I didn't think he had much of a mid-range. No.
He was definitely he'll shoot threes and get down to the
cut you up.
bucket
He'll
like
do
a
some
little
dances
muscle
to the
hamster.
paint.
He would definitely.
He didn't have a pretty
mid-ranges.
mid-range the way Sanon does.
No, but none of them had a pretty mid-range.
Sanon's mid-range is like watching ballet.
That's great.
Keep cooking. It's art, dude.
Keep cooking.
It's literally art. The way, the stroke, all of it is just, it's impeccable to watch, and he's just a freshman. He's a kid. He's a literal child. A couple years ago, could not operate a vehicle. And now here we are, Division I basketball, 6 games into the season, and this kid is Pablo Picasso on the hardwood. It's absolutely incredible to see. He's a bucket. He's a star. He's a special player. Could be the best Sun Devil Bobby Hurley has ever had the pleasure of coaching. He's going to get better. But I'm going to fight back and say that Remy Martin didn't have.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I never disagreed with you on that.
Erik Ruby said this. He said Remy Martin has a deeper bag. He said he has a deeper bag.
Hold up.
He doesn't. He doesn't have a deeper bag.
You're gonna attack me when I'm giving you your one shot?
Joson Sanon, deeper bag. Deeper bag, 100%. Megan's in the chat. Says, I think Erik has a pretty mid-range. Is that true, Erik? Do you have a pretty mid-range?
No, I only shoot threes.
You only shoot threes? You're kind of built like Bashir Jihad, but for normal people size.
If Shane is in the chat, he will tell you I am allergic to any non-3-point shot.
Why? Why are you scared of the midi?
Well, I used to be good in the mid-range and in the paint. In fact, that's all that I would play.
And you watch Remy Martin and you're like,
yes.
Nah.
No, then I tore ligaments in both of my ankles. And now I don't like being where other people's feet are and jumping into there. So, yeah, I like to shoot threes.
You stay as far away from me as possible.
People are like, is Erik getting Totri snacks? Who do you think zoomed in the camera?
I appreciate you.
Dude, it's so fun.
I appreciate you. Oh, my goodness. Look, a couple other standouts that I want to talk about. Jayden Quaintance tonight. Again, I know there's going to be people that are like, it was only a 4-point win, and that's fine. You're seeing promise and flashes from these guys.
Yeah. Okay, I could talk about some good stuff.
Quaintance, I will say, before we talk about the good stuff, he did take 11 shots and only hit 4 of them, and I'm pretty sure 3 of them were dunks.
Yeah, he very much needs to refine his offensive game.
I'm cool if it's just
Yeah.
let's yam on other dudes. Like, I'm cool if that's the bag. But like, I don't want to see you take a 3 then.
No, I mean he did hit a 3 the other day, so you're like, oh, maybe he could do that. But you're right. You need to work your way there.
Yeah.
You need to, and
he's running before he's learned to crawl yet.
I think it's because he's so naturally gifted on the defensive end that he probably thinks that everything else will translate, and that's just not what's going on. But defensively, I mean, the guy's playing like the National Defensive Player of the Year.
Another 4 blocks and a steal tonight.
Insane. And those aren't. It's not just the counting stats.
Yeah.
It's not just he gets the blocks. It's how he gets them, closing out on jump shooters. He gets at least one jump shooting block a game.
Yeah.
A game.
Great perimeter defender.
Sure, he gambles a little bit. He's a little bit risky. He is 17 years old at the end of the day, but he does it so well. He's been so good. He's continued to get better. Him and Sanon continue to improve on their strengths every game, which is awesome, and then slowly add in some other stuff as well. I'm super thrilled by them, and if they can continue to grow and be on an upward trajectory this season, then what I've been saying before of, hey, maybe they can fix this playing down to competition. Well, if you raise your talent floor, if your 5-stars start playing like those top end 5-stars, then you're sitting in a good spot.
Yeah, Vontez Buckshanks, so many block shots. The Rickety Bridges defense is really good, though. Will in the chat, not long shots, just questionable location and situation. Not just him, Amir Ali also, we were talking about while the game was going on, kind of gets tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like he's got it feels like every possession that Amir Ali has the ball, it's there's a fork in the road. And if he's not going one way, the other way just is a 3.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think it's classic, like, you know that you're not going to lead the team in shots, and you know that you can give them this like scoring spark, right? And so you almost feel this obligation for when you're in the game to play to your strengths. And Amir Ali's strengths is scoring.
Yeah.
And he knows that, especially in a game like this where shots are falling, but Cal Poly is keeping it close. If he can come out there and hit 2 threes or hit a 3 and get to the line and hit both free throws, like that's momentum shifting. That's changing. And I think he's looking for that. And I say this a lot. He's looking for that knockout blow so many times. But sometimes you just need to drop the bounce pass, hit him with the jab, get the ball to somebody else and move around and kind of make them forget about you a little bit. Forget that you could pull like that. Move the ball around, defend really well, drive and kick. And then all of a sudden, when everybody's relocating and checking on your Joson Sanons or your Adam Miller or your Alston Masons or your Quaintances and your Phillips rolling to the hoop, boom. There's Amir Ali, squared, ready for the shot, shoot it right when he gets it, not forced because he's actually going to be open. But it just feels like he gets the ball and it's like, there's not an immediate look at a pass there. I can't give it to Jayden Quaintance really well in the paint. It doesn't matter if there's a hand in my face. I'm taking the shot. No, dude, take a second, pass the ball out to the top of the key, to the top of the 3-point line, whatever you need to do. Have somebody come and get it and get a better shot.
BC in the chat. Can you guys get Harden on? Do you think you can make that happen?
Yeah, I'll make some calls.
Yeah. What about you, Captain Redbeard? What do you think of tonight?
You've
been eerily quiet. You're normally just such a chatterbox.
I know, yeah.
Can't get a word in with this guy.
Not great. I mean, a win is a win, and I think that they just play to the level of their competition from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Which can work out really well if they play well against these good teams in the Big 12, but I mean, you want to see better from a better result, but they're also just freshmen.
You want to switch chairs?
We could.
Get over here.
This show's getting wild, way off the rails.
Way off the rails. Megan, thank you for the compliment on the hat. We're gonna get Captain Redbeard over here. I mean, this is awesome. Is this the first time? Yeah, this is the first time. Is this the first time everybody's like fully seen you? I guess we've seen your face before. That's crazy.
This is awesome.
Everybody say hi to Captain Redbeard.
What's up, guys?
First mate over here, I guess is. Or you're not the first mate. I'm the first mate.
What am I? Garbage boy?
No, there's no garbage boy on pirate ships.
Oh, there certainly is a garbage boy.
What's the dude that sits in the bird's eye, the bird's nest?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I don't know what he's called, but
You're the binocular boy.
I got to do my pirate research.
Your pirate research?
Captain Redbeard, you look like a natural over there. I can't lie. You're glowing.
It's awesome.
We're just going to switch jobs.
I absolutely love it. Share it
No,
in the
I
chat.
just got
Hi,
out of this
Captain
one. I'm not
Redbeard.
taking this one back.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Look, I do want to get to...
Later, guys.
Wow, we're changing already. We're swapping. Rubus. Oh, okay. Just to aftertaste. Let's just get their aftertaste like this. Short buzz in the chat. Ahoy. So if you're new here, aftertaste. I'm just gonna ask you what this game tasted like, and you're gonna tell me. Okay, Captain Redbeard. I didn't mean for that to be. That was so like aggressive. So that was a lot. Sorry, you're gonna like it. You're gonna tell me what this game tasted like. What was dumped into your eating valve tonight, Captain Redbeard?
I would say a hot dog. A hot dog that was pretty
plain old
glizzy. I'm not a huge mustard fan, so it had some mustard on it. And I was
just like, mustard,
but I had to eat it because I was super hungry. And yeah, that's what I would say. Something like that. Like the game was kind of mid. You know, you wanted more from the team, even though they put up 93. You still want to see better defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I got the job done. Win is a win.
So just to confirm, you think this game tasted like a glizzy?
When you put it that way.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Erik, what was dumped into your eating valve?
Producer Erik.
Erik.
Address me by my proper name. Thank you.
Producer Erik.
This was cough medicine. Because
but cough medicine has a good effect.
Yeah. You got the win. At the end of the day, you got the result that you wanted, but you didn't get there how you wanted it. Of course, you want to just feel better, just by resting when you have an illness. But you got to sometimes just take that nasty tasting medicine, put it down your gullet, dump it into your eating valve or whatever you said, and then move on with your life because you're better now and you're more well prepared to take on the harder challenges in life. So you took your medicine today, you got your win. Now it's time for you to move on and be better.
Okay, I like it. The Rickety Bridge saying a slightly burned burrito. Clint in the chat says a glizzy, no mustard, no bun. I am going to go with a movie theater pretzel that is unsalted, no cheese, just a plain pretzel. I like it. I like the pretzels. They're all it's fine. That's what this game was. It was fine. It wasn't earth-shattering in any direction for me. Would I get it again? Probably not. I'm going to go get the nachos next time, or I'll get a glizzy with mustard, or a hamburger, or a chicken tendies. I am not going to get it again because it's mid, and that's what this was. It was a mid performance.
So we have Sharon. First of all, we have my wife in the chat taking shots at me.
Everyone has a big beard except Erik.
Crazy.
That's tough.
Crazy.
My beard's not big right now. It's just a light.
Crazy. Yeah, neither is mine.
I think we're gonna bring the stash back. I've gotten approval that I can bring the stash back.
The stash did look good.
The stash was a good look.
Yeah, I'm also keeping my beard short right now for
happy for you, man.
For intentional reasons. She says pirate ship jobs per the internet. Sharon does captain, navigator, quartermaster, boatswain, cooper, carpenter, doctor, surgeon, master, gunner. Which one am I?
Ooh, wait. Should I be the first mate or the quartermaster? Quartermaster sounds hard.
I feel like you make the beds.
I'm the quartermaster.
So what am I? I'm first mate.
I would the master gunner.
Oh, I love that.
He's always firing shots.
Yeah,
I love
always
that.
firing shots.
Like
Master
always.
Gunner Ruby.
Oh,
What's your middle name?
Charles.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Master Gunner Charles.
Is that surprising to you?
No, are you named after? Is it like where do you
My
get
dad's
that?
middle name is Charles. My grandfather's name is Charles, and my cat's name is Charlie. So we got multiple generations.
Interesting. What's your middle name?
We went over this.
I don't remember it. It's something good though.
Chandler.
Yeah,
That's pretty close.
Yeah,
That's pretty close to mine.
That's a really good
Like
middle name.
Chandler
Everybody,
from
drop
Friends.
your middle names in the
Yeah,
chat.
drop your social security numbers in the chat, guys.
Look, we are going to continue the post game show. Do we want to swap back here?
You can throw to a break and then we can swap.
Oh yeah, is that what you want?
I know what I'm doing back here.
Okay, I know what you're. I know that you know what you're doing, Rubus. Okay.
Espo's just walking by, very confused, very confused right now. What's up, Espo?
Absolutely love it. The show's gone off the rails. Espo, again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a. What's this game? Wait, come here. So we do a segment called Aftertaste.
It's
Have you
why
heard
Kyle's
of this
on
segment?
camera.
Yeah. Okay. So he said this game tasted like a glizzy with mustard. He said this game tasted like cough medicine. I said it tasted like a movie theater pretzel with like just no salt, no cheese, nothing. So I'm going to ask you, what was dumped into your eating valve tonight?
It tasted like a candy cane that fell on the ground after I licked it, and then I had to eat it again.
Okay. Ooh. Well, that was very vivid. So thank you for that.
Did we miss the most obvious aftertaste answer from Kevo? Did this game taste like a ciabatta?
It didn't taste dipper. It didn't taste like a ciabatta dipper.
Okay, we have a story about ciabatta dipper, but I'm going to throw it from break from back here. But we're going to take a quick break first.
Look, guys, I want to tell you about our friends over at NUTRL. Make sure you keep it tasty, Tempe. This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. NUTRL Vodka Seltzer has arrived, and I'm not somebody that usually likes seltzers. I'm more of a beer or a liquor guy myself, but anytime there is a NUTRL, I can't keep my paws off of it because it is the perfect balance of sweet seltzer. It's not too crazy on the bubbles and it's not too crazy on the sweetness. It's the perfect balance. It's made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. They've got a variety of flavors including pineapple, watermelon, black cherry, orange, and so much more. Nothing goes better together than college sports and a NUTRL vodka seltzer. NUTRL, keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch NUTRL flavored vodka in carbonation, St. Louis, Missouri.
We talk about together.
We do.
Okay? See, we check on each other.
Almost died there.
We're a community here over at PHNX, and that, of course, is why we have events like the PHNX Territorial Cup Takeover on November 30th. It's ASU versus U of A, presented by NUTRL and by Brandon Bills. It's a pregame meetup at Bourbon Bent in Tucson. Food and drink are included, plus a game ticket to the Territorial Cup. You can find tickets for that. Help us take over Tucson with maroon and with gold. I'm looking at you, Sharon. Tickets available at gophnx.com/events. Plus, I mentioned Chicken and Pickle before. We have a winter pickleball tournament on December 14th at Chicken and Pickle in Glendale. We've doubled the field since our first tournament with 48 teams this year. Crazy comment. All skill levels are welcome, but I will tell you, bring your A game. There were some people who brought their A game before, plus so many more events over at gophnx.com/events. And all proceeds from our Chicken and Pickle tournament go to Operation Santa Claus. Okay, so ciabatta dippers. Let's set the scene.
You want to do ciabatta dippers before the Bobby board?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, we have to.
Go ahead, get into ciabatta dippers. We have to
rank things in terms of importance. So we were watching the game, and I thought Totri was talking about a player on Cal Poly. He goes, "Oh man, look at ciabatta dippers."
Yeah,
because we had 2 games on the TV in our office.
3 technically.
3. Shout out Toledo, and
they got killed by Ohio.
I stopped for a second, and I swear, I'm like, who on Cal Poly is named Ciabatta Dippers? Because that is the greatest college basketball name I've ever heard in my entire life. And then we spent like the next 45 minutes just randomly talking about Ciabatta Dippers. If Ciabatta Dippers was a player, if you had to create them in an NCAA game, like what would their game be like? So now I just cannot get the name Ciabatta Dippers.
Ciabatta Dippers is a small forward that's a 10 and 12 player.
Fresno State.
Yeah. No, beautiful. Beautiful. Ciabatta Dippers gives it all they have every single night. It was a 3-star recruit.
Yeah.
Nothing flashy.
2-star.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
Took a little dip.
Took a little dip after that junior season. It was a rough year for Ciabatta.
Yeah, they bounced back.
They did.
Because you gotta do it. So the Bobby board. Wow. We are adding one more win, baby. Show us the Bobby board.
You got a new Bobby face, and this Bobby face, I think, is very fitting for what you got here. It's just
They're all angry.
They're all
literally every single one is angry.
It's just Bobby's face, dude. It's Bobby's face, man. I don't know what to tell you. Look, I'll take that though. I'll take 5, and if you can get 6 out of 7 to start the year, because the Duke game doesn't count because it's a charity game, I will take that. Right? You go 6-1 to start the year, you're taking it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 5-1. But I love walking the line. I love walking the line. Because while they could totally play better, and I'm going to hold them to the standard to do that, I will celebrate the fact that they're 5-1 right now and that they might be 6-1 if they beat a good New Mexico team.
You didn't celebrate, though.
I told you about the good things.
Yeah, but you didn't.
Yeah, but I'll go home tonight satisfied.
That's what I do.
Okay. Okay. You know, I've been through a lot of stuff on this show in the past year. That might be the worst. That might be the worst.
You tossed me a lob, dude.
No, do you want to know what I did?
You tossed me
do you
a
want to know
lob
what I
and
did?
slammed it home.
You were wide open in the corner, and I threw you a bounce pass, and instead of shooting the ball, you took it and you threw it at my face. And then you walked to the other side of the
still
court.
went in, though.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. This might be the most off the rails post game show that we've ever done.
It has certainly got off the rails. I don't know if we're still even talking about a train anymore.
No.
To be honest with you.
You might be.
Okay, buddy. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I do want to make a quick announcement for everybody that's watching now. Highly recommend you show up to our show on Friday. I'm going to be, again, previewing the Arizona State BYU game. And we have a ticket to give away.
Whoa.
We have a ticket to the game.
That's like a $6,000
And
ticket.
it's actually, do me a favor. Pull up Game Time real quick.
All right,
I'm going to tell you where this seat is located.
Our friends over at Game Time.
And you can tell me where exactly it is or try and
Oh, look at that.
show
Number
me.
one on popular events. ASU, BYU.
It is such, okay, I'm scrolling my email
You
here.
let me know, man.
Okay, here we go. It is going to be Section 10.
Section 10.
Row 2.
Row 2?
Yeah.
Okay, Section 10, Row 1 is $573.
Yeah, we're just giving away this ticket.
Yo, you know, there is a co-host of yours.
You're going to the game,
Yeah,
dog.
but not as a fan. I could do both. How selfish would that be if I did both?
Yeah, I don't know why you would do
How
that.
are we giving it away?
Well, you're going to have to tune in on Friday to find out.
No, you got to tell me after the show.
I'll tell you.
We should do like a talent show
How are we gonna
where
do
people
that?
like call in and like perform.
On StreamYard?
Yeah, we have to pre-record though. We have to pre-record.
I was going to say,
We have to pre-record.
that is a bold choice.
That would be pretty sick though, huh?
That would be.
I feel like we should look diehards. I feel like diehards should be at least like if we're gonna do like a random drawing, they should get like 5 entries to everybody else's ones. And I love everybody who listens to the show, but the
Megan really
diehards
wants to go to the game.
yeah,
You didn't
maybe
buy
if-
your wife a ticket to the game?
maybe if you didn't make the beard comment.
That's it's wild.
No,
Kevo in the
I'm
chat.
sorry, I cannot afford the $573 ticket.
Row 2 is wild work. It's going to be a great game, great environment. So definitely make sure you're here on Friday. We also may have another surprise coming out on Friday.
Man, I hope so.
We got
Man, I hope so. We better.
It's going to be good. It's going to be really, really good. But do you have any final thoughts on what you witnessed here tonight, Senor Cough Medicine Man?
This show feels like we took about 3 times the amount of cough medicine that you should have taken and turned the camera on. I am happy that we are 5-1. And I'm happy that there is... I literally said I couldn't afford the ticket, William. Why are you calling me bougie? I said I couldn't afford it. Sorry, I got this.
Yeah.
Nigel's coming out of the end here.
This guy's the flogger of the ship.
Okay. First of all, you said you were going to be the quartermaster.
Does
All
the
right?
quartermaster do the flogging?
Yes, that's what
Oh,
Sharon
I don't
said.
want to be the quartermaster
Okay, I don't
anymore.
have any final thoughts on this game. Not anymore. Wrap it up, Totri.
You got nothing?
Nothing.
Give me one word to describe this game. There is a right word. There is a right... No, 2 words. Two
words?
2 words. Come on.
Can I...
Look at me. There are 2 words.
2 words.
There are 2 words for this game.
Owen.
Nope. 2 words.
Oh, God. We're going to keep doing this?
We're doing this. The show
I've never
is not
stared in your
ending.
eyes this long.
I've got beautiful eyes.
All right, calm down.
2
Calm
words.
down. Calm
2
down.
words.
I wish I
2
was a
words.
blind mouse.
It's been the theme of the night. The theme of that game was 2 words. See if anybody in chat gets it before you do.
Ciabatta Divers.
Divers.
Okay, William was saying the Die Hard part. Well, William, I think we will have another sale before this year is over. So hopefully you're able to do that. Maybe parlay that, not like it's betting, but with getting a shirt and you can save some money too. So not that it's going to be impossible for non-diehards to win, but They are the diehards.
Yeah, it won't be
Kevo got
impossible. It won't be
Well,
impossible.
no, Kevo said ciabatta bread. Bro, where
What
are
are you doing,
It's ciabatta
dude?
dippers.
Ciabatta dippers, which I will
Dippers.
say, no free ads, they look incredible.
Yeah, we're not saying where they're from.
They look amazing. I will certainly be getting myself some ciabatta dippers. Guys, this segment right here is powered by NUTRL. It is closing time. Keep it tasty, Tempe. Enjoy responsibly. Normally, we got a couple takeaways. Tonight, I feel like we should just keep it simple. What do you think, Erik?
Yeah, I think my brain can only handle simple.
Well, here you go. A win is a win.
Ciabatta dippers.
Your Arizona State Sun Devils are 5-1. They got the job done barely against Cal Poly, the Mustangs, if you didn't know.
I actually didn't know.
90
This entire time, if you asked me what their mascot was, I would not know.
93-89. Guys, we'll be back at it 1:30 on Thursday. Be there or be square. A lot of content coming out here at PHNX. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow this man right here. That is at Erik Ruby. Erik with K. You can follow the captain of this ship at K Coop Sports. In the meantime, guys, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.